From old familiar bitter rivalries to warm Valentine's Day victories, Griffon Hoops gains a heartwarming win while Diamonds are Griffon Hardball's best friend. That season starts this week, and Griffon Sports Insider starts now. Hello and welcome to GSI. I'm Ryan Menley. Brett Easley will join us in a minute. A big week for Western basketball. It is crunch time. The Griffs in the midst of a grueling schedule. 4 games in 7 days. Last week, not a good week for the Griffon men, but this week, they're back on track. Here's a recap.
You know, were we going to come together and come up here and get blown out again, or were we going to show a little bit of toughness and togetherness?
It's been a tough stretch for Tom Smith's Griffs. The losing streak reached 4 last Wednesday in Omaha. UNO used hot shooting and took advantage of poor Griffon free throw shooting to pull off a 96-84 victory at Sapp Fieldhouse. Streamers on the court, Tom Smith yelling, players jawing. All of it technically speaking. Welcome to another chapter in the Western-Northwest rivalry. This one going back and forth all game long. P. Allen Stinnett with the early hot hand going outside, inside, and everywhere in between. He had 21 points. Just before halftime, Northwest Jake Reinders trying to beat the buzzer from 45 feet. Nothing but net. How about that one? Bearcats take a 33-32 lead to the locker room. Second half, Griffs down 5. Here they come. 5'8" Jonathan Phelps. The steal, the break, the foul, the dunk anyway. How about that? He had 18 points after that 3-point play. 2 minutes to play now. Griffs up 1. Northwest's Deshaun Cooper trying to change that. He will rattle home the 3. Bearcats regain the lead. Other end, the Griffins answer. Phelps, the layup. We're tied at 67 apiece. On the other end now, Cooper's turn. He had 31 points on the night. The Cats lead by 2. Final 20 seconds. Western down 2. Stinnett trying for the lead. It's no good, and Northwest survives to gain the season sweep. 73-69, the final. Western has dropped 5 straight. Monday, Griffins have their Valentine's Day date with Southwest Baptist. You know, young love can start out on fire, and that's exactly what Western did. The opening tip, Brandon Beck just gets it up to Ace Thomas, who scores in 2 seconds. Griffins start the game on an 11-0 run. You know, young love has its ups and downs, and, well, Baptist put the Griffins down. Bearcats answer with a 33-9 run. They would take a 15-point lead midway through the first half, but the Griffins rebuff the heartbreak. Instead, they fight back. P. Allen Stinnett around the world and won. Then, just before the half, Levante Douglas, the layup, part of a 22-0 Griffin run. They take a 44-43 lead to halftime. Second half, DeJuan Harris drives, misses, but cleans up his own mess and gets a 3-point play. Western by 6. Later, sharing the love. Great ball movement. Jonathan Phelps finishes with 3. He had a team-high 20 points. 5 Griffins scored in double figures. They shot 60% on the night, and they all lived happily ever after. Western snaps its 5-game skid with a 96-88 victory. Griffins now 10-13 overall, 8-10 in the MIAA. Brett Easley joins us now. He has head men's basketball coach Tom Smith.
And Griffon Sports Insider goes courtside. We're here with Griffon men's basketball coach Tom Smith. And Coach Smith, let's look back a little bit. February 5th, you said lowest you'd been in your coaching career in 23 years. And we played 3 games since then. You feel like you're able to bring him back pretty well?
Well, I think I went lower first, a little bit there, and then no, I don't know. I think we really needed to win. This team needed a win, and we needed a win badly. And I felt like, you know, if we could get over that hump, you know, with 2 more home games here, you know, I think we've had a chance to maybe make that run to Kansas City now.
You get 5 players in double figures against Southwest Baptist, 17 assists. You out-rebound SBU 11. Really a good effort here this season.
You know what I thought was really key is in the second half, our shot selection was really, really good, or else we got to the free throw line, one of the 2 things. And for the first time in a long time, we didn't settle for a bunch of jump shots, and I think that was one of the real keys. I think we ended up taking 55 shots and making 33. That's fairly proficient.
And as a coach, Coach Smith, sometimes you get on some great runs, sometimes you get on some not great runs, and sometimes when you get on these runs, it probably seems like you're never going to win again. Just talk about what it feels like to get one tonight.
Well, it feels really good because you're right. I think when I first started coaching, I worked for a guy named Maury John, and he talked about being on a slippery pole. You know, you get on that slippery pole, and you can't stop it. You know, you just keep sliding down, and you don't know how to stop it. And people say, well, you know, Lincoln's coming in or Baptist is coming in. I mean, this is a good Baptist team. I mean, we've said in the beginning that some team that's pretty decent and has some talent is not going to be in Kansas City. And, you know, there's an example of a team that is tied with us at 8-10 right now. That's a pretty good basketball team.
We know offensively, we know P. Allen Stinnett can score, we know Jonathan Phelps can score, but we've got some other guys on this team that quietly have played pretty good offensively. Ace Thomas one, and DeJuan Harris quietly has played some pretty good offensive basketball over the last few games.
Yeah, I really do think that Juan has helped us. You know, Ace has too. He's getting his points different ways. He's shooting a couple threes. He's driving. You know, the layup he hit when they had cut it to 4 was probably as big as any shot in the game. You know, I thought Deontay Mitchell came in and hit a couple medium-range jumpers that really kind of kept him off of our back a little bit. But Adrian's done a nice job. I think DeJuan has done a really good job. He's another one who's a scorer. You know, and I think the other thing that people have to realize is we've had to change oars in midstream, so to say, because we've gone from a team that had a plethora of shooters, three-point shooters, to a team that's really not a great three-point shooting team, and yet tonight I think we hit 10.
Lincoln comes to town Wednesday, then Truman State Saturday. Talk about how big those games are.
Well, I think they're huge. I still feel like you have to have 2 more wins. You have to get to 10 before you're going to be able to get to Kansas City, and then it's not probably guaranteed, but I think you have a good chance to get there with 10, you know, and that's the thing. We can at least leave the homestand with 10 wins and have 2 games on the road. You know, at least you're alive going into those last 2 games, and they're important.
All right, we're on location, but I'm not letting you off the hook. Easley's impromptu. You ready for these? Simply, you like on location or on a setback?
On location.
On location, he says. If you made a New Year's resolution, it's February. Did you keep it or not?
No. Number 1, I didn't make one. Number 2, I wouldn't have kept it.
Almost 70 degrees today. The snow is melted. Are we done with snow this year? We're going to get a little more.
We're done. Snow's over. Spring's coming. Early spring. Great baseball, softball weather.
And finally, it's Valentine's Day. You remembered your wife, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
It's Valentine's Day. You remembered your wife, didn't you?
I remembered who she was, Patsy.
There you go. That's Tom Smith. We'll send it back to Ryan.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll talk women's hoops when we come back.
Forty minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes of pure emotion. It's a great time.
Great time.
Great time.
Great time.
It's a great time.
It's a great time to be a Griffin.
Fans, join us for the final home games of the season this Saturday night. Thanks for your patronage all season long. Go Griffs!
Welcome back. The Missouri Western women showing no ill effects from the marathon week of basketball. The Griffs 2-1 in the last 3 games and have the MIAA tournament well within their sights. Here's a recap of the 3 games in the week that was. Wednesday, Coach Plett and company at Nebraska-Omaha. Western nailed 8 first-half three-pointers. Nolke did her part. She had 14 points on the night. Griffs take a 34-17 lead to the locker room. UNO coach Patty Patton Shearer says somebody stick Nolke. She actually should have worried about Jessica Cook. The junior guard, again, under the weather, but apparently that just makes her better. She scored a career-high 31 points on 12 of 18 shooting. She also added 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals as Western blows away UNO 67-54. Rivalry Saturday, Western women hosting first place Northwest first half, all Bearcats. They'd open on a 15-4 run and score at will. Gabby Curtis, a big reason for that big run. She scored 34 points in the game. Bearcats running away, but Lauren Nolke kept it from getting ugly. She scored 16 of her career high 24 points in the first half. Second half, they'd be down as many as 20, but how about this comeback? Jessica Cook gets the bucket and the bruise, the three-point play. Later, Alicia Bell gets the rebound, the putback, and one. Part of a 15-3 Griffin run. Still later, Cook to Alex Noble. Western cuts the lead to 3 with 7 minutes remaining. But then the Bearcats start punishing inside, and the Griffs had no answer for that in the final few minutes. The comeback bid falls short as Western falls 91-82. Griffin women spending their Valentine's Day by bludgeoning Southwest Baptist. This just a 2-point game at halftime, but the second half was all gold. Alicia Bell pulls down the air ball, then finishes herself. She had 12 points, 11 rebounds, Western by 6. Later, nice ball movement. Rachel Lutine hits the cutting Alex Noble. Griffs by 10. They keep running. Bell to Jessica Cook, 2 of her team-high 14 points. Brenna Celine missed a week with a concussion. Oh, welcome back to the lineup. Splashes home the 3. Then it's Lauren Nolke. three. She has hit 17 three-pointers in the last 4 games. She had 11 points on the night. Griffin's roll Baptist 66-50 the final. They're now 12-10 overall, 9-9 in MIAA play.
That's really been the thing we've been talking about a lot, is our defense. Is we're going to have off nights on offense, but defense is the one thing that we should be able to do every single night. And I think that's what we're trying to do and practice a lot more, is work on the defensive part, because that's going to help us get in the tournament for sure. So.
Now we send it back to Brett. He's with head coach Lynn Plett.
And Griffin Sports Insider goes on location tonight. I'm joined by Griffin head women's basketball coach Lynn Plett. And Coach Plett, in the middle of a tough key stretch right here. Let's just briefly look at the week over our last 3 games, 2-1. Talk about that stretch.
Yeah, Omaha was great. I mean, I thought we got out to a really good start and played good, solid basketball throughout the game. As the Northwest was a tough first half, they played extremely well. We didn't, but then we came back and made a real game of it, cutting it back to 3 points with 7 minutes to go. Just couldn't quite get over the hump. And then tonight against Baptist, I felt like we knew we had to do a good job against their 3-point shots, and I think we did a really good job. We held them, I think, to 22% from the 3-point line and 31% overall. So I feel like the defense did a pretty good job in the last couple of outings.
Lynn, this time of year, every game's magnified, and with that, you hope that your players elevate their game, and a couple definitely have. Jessica Cook, career-high 31 points last Wednesday at Omaha. Lauren Nolke, career-high 24 points against Northwest. Talk about those performances.
Yeah, Jess was just right on the money on that game. Everything, she kind of let the game come to her. I thought she played a lot more under control and didn't really have any instances during that ball game where she really got kind of out of control like she does occasionally, and the result was, you know, a very effective 31 points from the floor. Lauren has just been playing so much more consistently lately. She's gotten out of that mode about being concerned about what missing shots, and she's been taking shots and scoring and doing a really good job for us, and she needs help to create that shot, but even now she's even get a little bit more aggressive to where she actually can pull up and shoot a jump shot sometimes too. So those two have improved a lot. Rachel is still doing some consistent things for us, but I think like tonight I was on her about not shooting the ball enough, but I think she's doing fine so far. So like you said, this is the time of year we got to get better. Every good team gets better at this time of year.
Speaking of getting better, every team needs a spark plug. Would you agree Alex Noble might be this team's spark plug?
And to some degree, I think you're right. Defensively, she's definitely an asset for us because she's been doing a really good job on that end. She also brings energy to the floor because she runs so well up and down the floor. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it, especially since Brenda's been out for a week with a concussion, and I think she's filled in really well for us there. And now we have another asset I think that we can really count on.
And it's easy for guys like us to sit here and look at the schedule and go, okay, 4 home games, they need to go 3-1, and they'll win that game, and they'll win that game, and I don't know how good a chance they have in that game. Well, 2 down, we're 1-1. Lincoln comes in Wednesday night, Truman State comes in Saturday night, and those are certainly 2 games that if we're going to solidly make the conference tournament, we got to have them, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And then honestly, you know, we're just trying to get as good as we can and individually improve each ball game, and we definitely need to get both of those home games. And obviously, I think what we've really been setting our goal, let's get all 4 of them. Because I think that can send that same message that we've been trying to send all year long, is that we feel like we were kind of looked over at the beginning of the year and people didn't think we were going to do much. So if we can send another message by winning all 4 of these ball games, that'd be great. But again, it's one at a time, and Lincoln's the first one on the agenda.
Okay, Lynn, I can catch you anywhere. Easley's Impromptu. You ready? On location, Easley's Impromptu. First question simply, do you like on location or you like studio better?
On location's good.
Lynn likes on location. Okay, we probably talked about this right around New Year's. New Year's resolution. Did you set one, and if you did you keep it?
I did not set one.
Lynn, guys like Ryan Minley and I ask this question all the time. We put ourselves in, but we don't ask coaches. But I'm going to ask you, because it's our show. If someone had told you before the season that with 4 games left in February, we'd have 12 wins, 9 conference wins, and we'd be in excellent shape to make the conference tournament, not only make the conference tournament, but probably make some noise when we get there, would you have taken this in November?
Yeah, I would have. I would have taken it. I just wasn't sure what this year was going to bring, and the girls have done a great job. So now when I look back at what I was thinking at that time, yeah, I would have taken it.
And finally, on a really serious note, tell me you remembered your wife on Valentine's Day.
That's the best answer I can give you.
There you go, folks. Interpret that one how you want. That's Griffin head women's basketball coach Lynn Plett. More Griffin Sports Insider up right after this.
Basketball to me is life.
Basketball to me means being together as a family.
Out there doing what I love with teammates I love.
5 players becoming a unit, working hard to get the job done.
Because it brings out the true character, you really find out really who you really are sometimes.
You learn not to take the easy answer. You learn to have a common goal. Those are the things that are important about basketball.
Another sign that spring is, well, almost sprung. Baseball and softball season starts this week, and welcome back to GSI. Brett, nice to have you here again. You were on location.
That's the magic of television, isn't it? Who knew?
That's
I'm back, and it's good to be here with you.
It's great. I'm glad
to see you.
It's great to see me, too. We're here with Buzz Verduzco, Griffon head baseball coach, entering his 12th. This is 12 seasons?
12 seasons.
12 seasons.
12 seasons for me.
Wow, a dozen years.
A long time. Doesn't say it went fast. Went fast. So we'll see how the next few go.
Let's talk about your roster. It's a nice mix. You get a nice mix of returners, a nice mix of newcomers. We know Brandon Simmons is back, good arm. Isaac Rome's back. Give us the names of a couple of guys that you think that are new that are going to make a big impact this year.
Again, you talked about us having a mix. You know, we have a mix of kids, something that typically in the past we would be more heavy junior college guys, but now we do have a mix of kids, and probably for the first time in a while, we're going to start a true freshman on opening day and a left fielder in a kid by the name of Davey Chu, and so he's gonna be a good kid. I mean, down the road, he's gonna have to have a little bit of experience as we get going, but he's gonna be a kid who, you know, we're going to count on for the next 3 or 4 years.
Season opens this weekend. You get on the bus, you go about 9 hours to Florence, Alabama. UNA, a team down south that's probably been outside a little bit. What are your expectations this weekend?
Well, I think for us, we want to find out a lot about our team, you know, before we get, you know, before the series is out. And if we win a game or two, or you know, just compete very well, I think I'm going to be satisfied. They're going to be 7 games into it. They play today. They were 5-1 before today. Going in today, so it's going to be. We have our work cut out for us, regardless.
Well, a couple of weeks away from opening at the new stadium, the new field. You haven't really stepped foot on that yet for practice because there's been 4 feet of snow on the ground.
Exactly.
How much are you itching to get on there?
Well, our players, you know, being able to drive by it every day has been pretty exciting. Not as exciting as obviously going out and practicing and playing on it, but. We're actually going to go out today and take some ground balls and practice a little bit there, and so it's going to be. You know, kind of different. You're going to have to try and get used to your own field.
Talk about how big it is to play on campus. How big is that?
You know, we talked about that the other day with our players, and I don't think a lot of them really realize yet just how big of an event that is for us to be able to come back on campus. It is for the alumni because they've never been on campus. They never played on campus, so they know what we came from, and they know you know, it's kind of a bittersweet taste, really, because there's a lot of history at Phil Welch Stadium, and Griffon baseball only knows Phil Welch Stadium as far as their home park. But we want to start like a new era, you know, of us being truly at home and getting a lot of fans there and really trying to promote our own students to be able to come out.
The new era starts this weekend on the road at North Alabama.
Yeah.
Buzz Verduzco, thanks for joining us on
Good
your
luck. Welcome.
GSI.
Nice job on your debut.
Thank you.
Will you join us in a few weeks?
You betcha.
All right. We'll be right back.
Basketball.
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 It's a dance.
$40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes of pure emotion. It's a great time.
Great time.
Great time.
Great time.
It's a great time.
It's a great time to be a Griffon.
And welcome back to GSI. A new season begins this weekend for the Griffon softball program as well, right?
Yeah, another proof that spring is here. Joined now by head coach Jen Bagley in her 10th season.
10th season.
10 years.
That means
Wow.
you started when you were 12. Right?
That's what I've been telling people.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's good. That's good. I get my brownie points out of the way early. Well, same thing we kind of asked Buzz. You start on Friday, but you've really kind of had a new start, you know, a fresh breath of air into this program, as you said, with the new softball stadium, the new practice facility. Just talk about coming into a season with all that around you.
Well, it's exciting. You know, I think Buzz and I both feel like the new indoor has really helped us in terms of prepping for the opening weekend. Usually we're going from a gym floor onto the dirt, and this year we've been able to really stretch out and I think have a better assessment of where we are as a team because of it. So it's great.
as we said, you've been here since you were 12, and in
Right.
that 10 years that you've been a part of this program, you've had a solid program, really all 10 years. Last year, maybe a little bit of a disappointing season for your standards.
Hugely disappointing.
Expectations were so high,
Yes.
and then bad luck, injuries, everything else.
Terrible.
Talk about. Okay.
Get them
she
all
said
out.
it, not me.
Yeah.
Throw it all out
It's
there.
a
It's all right.
show,
It's a family
you know?
show.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the truth, and we feel that. A lot of we've got 5 seniors on this team that felt that really sharply because they played on that team 2 years ago that won 32 in a row, and then coming into next year or the last year and having all of the expectations and the excitement and then the disappointment. There has been a different focus this year with those kids in terms of we know we need to work hard to earn back the respect that was kind of given to us last year. And I think that that's been a positive motivating factor for this team.
You're on the road Friday for the season opener in Durant, Oklahoma at the
Yes.
Southeast Oklahoma Invitational.
Right.
6 games in 3 days.
Yes.
Welcome to the world of softball.
Yes.
What are you hoping to see from your team?
Well, I would like to see, just like Buzz was saying, I would like to see us compete hard. It's going to be a really good tournament for us because we're going to see some really tough teams traditionally, and then we're going to see some teams that maybe we can kind of stretch out a little bit and get some confidence on. So we're looking to, of course, come back 6-0 like we always. It's just what you expect. You expect that, and you try to reach that. But for us, it's going to be seeing where this team is, where these new people fit in, and how they perform on this team.
A lot has been made about the new baseball facility. Softball has played on campus before, but you
Yes.
got some new duds you're going to show off this year as well. Talk
Right.
about that.
Well, we're excited. I think it's going to be a neat environment out at the Spring Sports Complex with baseball being on campus as well as us. I just think that that's going to be a really neat atmosphere. Before we were on campus, but it was softball all by itself. And now we'll have a baseball field next to us, and I think that just brings a whole different element to it. But in addition to that, our field is going to be awesome. It looks great. There's chairback seating. It looks like it's a perfect Division II size stadium where when we have our fans there, they're going to fill our stands and make it look impressive. And we're excited to play on a field that drains, and we're not going to have near the issues
Does
we
the
did
dirt
before.
blow out there? Will I walk away eating dirt? That problem's gone, right?
The dirt will fly, but
Okay.
we have water.
Good.
And so the
Beautiful.
water will,
Okay.
and the dirt will keep the dirt where it is so that we
Okay.
all don't look like powdered sugar donuts when we leave the
There you
field.
go.
So,
Good brown powdered sugar.
yes,
donuts.
Brian likes
exfoliating was
brown powdered
awesome,
sugar,
but
yes.
that's about as good as it was for. So.
Jim Bagley, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Good luck
guys.
this
joining
weekend.
us.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
this
much.
weekend.
Thank
Good luck
you.
this season. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Okay,
All right.
excellent.
GSI will be right back.
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes of pure emotion. It's a great time.
Great time.
Great time.
Great time.
It's a great time to be a Griffin.
Fans, join us for the final home games of the season this Saturday night. Thanks for your patronage all season long. Go Griffs!
And welcome back. Time for the final segment, our favorite segment, your favorite
It
segment.
is my favorite segment.
Because you win it every week.
Again, the magic antidote for you, just don't show up and you win. You've been here 3 weeks in a row, and guess what? You lost 3 weeks in a row.
I like the hood on the coat this week.
It
though.
is.
That's nice.
Nice and gold, Griffin gold.
This is the Pick'em segment. You won it last week. I went 5-4. You went 6-3. Not a really stellar performance for either one of us, but you're winning again. That's all that matters.
Hey, it's all that matters, and you know what? You get down to the end of the year, they're a little harder to pick because teams are playing harder. They know what it means to them.
Well, let's get to the nitty-gritty for this week. Wednesday, Central Missouri at UNO.
Good matchup here. Give me the UCM women on the road at UNO. UNO season's done, and good matchup on the men's side. I'm going to take UNO at home. I think, again, they win in a fluke in Warrensburg, but they're playing good. They'll beat them at home.
They are playing a lot better right now. I'll take the same thing as well. PSU at ESU.
Boy,
Pitt and Emporia.
A lot of meaning on the men's side. That could be to get in the MIAA tournament. Give me Emporia at home. The home team usually wins in that scenario. Pretty good matchup on the women's side, too. Lady Hornets, hard to figure out. Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? I'm going to take them at home over the Gorillas.
Very young team, but I agree. I'm going to take the same thing. SBU at Fort Hays State.
Oh, SBU, after playing here, getting on the bus and going out to Hayes, that's going to be a rough
It's a
trip for
hard
the
bus
Bearcats.
ride.
That's going to be a Hayes sweep out there.
I'll take a Hayes sweep as well. We're all agreeing here. That's not good. Truman State at Northwest.
Maybe a little closer on the women's side than you think. But boy, after seeing Gene Steinmeier's club, that's a good basketball team. They beat Truman. Give me the Northwest men. That's probably going to be a good men's game, too. But again, Ben McCollum's team playing good late. Give me Northwest men.
I
agree. I don't like this.
That's no fun.
Missouri Southern at Washburn. I'm going to pick the opposite, regardless of what you pick.
Good matchups here. I'll tell you what. Give me an upset on the women's side. Give me Missouri Southern on the women's side. That's a Southern sweep in Topeka. How many times have you said that over the years?
Not very, but I'll take the opposite. How about that?
There
I'll
you
take
go.
a Washburn sweep. That is GSI for this week. You got tennis on Friday, Missouri Western basketball here on Wednesday and Saturday. Baseball opens up. It's all here.
Bevy of Griffon events. We transition in the spring. Hey, final home week of the basketball season. Get out and support the Griffs. We've had great crowds this year. They need your support one more week here.
Check out our website, gogriffins.com, and as always,
go Griffs!
Go Griffs!